This cassette tape is your life. Now, I know that may not make sense to you right now, but trust me and let me explain. Every little memory, every aspect, every quirk, every experience and thought, it's all in this little thing right here. It's all been recorded into this. A cassette tape only has a short lifespan before it's done, before the last bit of tape has rolled and been recorded onto. Every single second of it is as valuable as the last. And as we know, and as Cousin knows, every second counts. Now, you may be asking, why am I talking about a cassette tape? What's that got to do with the whole scheme of things? Well, I'm not. I'm talking about you and your life. See, nowadays, as the years go further along, we take our time for granted more and more every day. We spend so much of it on worthless things that have no meaning in the true scheme of your life. And things at the time we're like, yes, this gives us a good feeling now, but later on, we're not going to care about it. It's not going to be a thing we look back on our last day when we're on the deathbed and be like, oh, I really love that thing that I did where I wasted my time. And yeah, in the moment, it makes you feel good. But later on, you're going to realize you wasted your tape, you know? Hell, we even spend a lot of our time day by day trying to forget that time is actually passing, like every single second. And obviously, a lot of the time, you forget that it is actually passing all the time. We try to make time pass faster and faster and get places faster than ever before, as if we were running out of time, running out of tape on our life. Which in all honesty, we are running out of time. But we have been running out of time since the day we were born. So why should we care so much about it now? Why are we rushing now? There's no need. But that's just a fact. That's just a fact of life. It's not something you can stop. It's not something you can, try and slow down. It's always going to go at the same pace. So what's the point of trying to rush around and spend it on these worthless things when we have this certain amount of tape, I guess, in our life, like a cassette tape as well? You'd rather watch back this tape, look at all the highlights about, oh my God, I did all this stuff. Imagine if you could watch your life back when you were finished, what you would think about it all. I feel like you got to do that more, thinking about what you are actually doing. There's so much in life where you feel like, oh, it's nothing, I'm just doing this job for the rest of my life and that's it. But if that is it, then try and make it better. Why would you make it worse? Why would you try and forget that time is passing? Forget that you're going to look back on this one day. Time passing is something we shouldn't spend too much time thinking about. Or then we'll go into a spiral of thinking we've wasted our entire lives doing nothing, and that's useless. I mean, yes, we've all wasted our time. Everyone wastes their time. You can't spend every single second of your time on things that have worth or are valuable. We all waste our time, but it's a lesson to be able to use your rest of the time better. You need that balance of you wasting your time. You're like, oh, I've wasted this time, so I should do better to, stop wasting more time. If you cut that down as much as you can, then that is amazing. Even just a little bit. It's so good, because then I feel like in a way you feel better about yourself, even though it takes so much more to use that time in a good way and to not just sit there, be like watching shows, eating snacks and being like you feel good, you're just like not having to think so much, not having to live properly. There's no use spending energy dwelling on the time you've wasted, but to instead to just think, I'm going to spend the time that I have now better than I did back then or the other day. And I mean, if you're constantly self-aware about that, you can do better, but just go into that spiral of, oh, waste time, then you waste time thinking about wasting time. It's like, what? It doesn't make sense, but it's, oh my God, humans, the hell are they? What are we, man? If you've begun to see that you have nothing to show for the time you've spent on this planet, then that's actually a good thing. Even though at the time you're thinking, oh, I'm so depressed, I'm so sad that I've spent all this time doing nothing. Yeah, but the good thing is now you've realized that and you have to take advantage of that and then start doing stuff, change it. It means you've finally snapped out of that trance, and now comes the time to make a decision, a big decision. It's time to choose that you're going to start doing something with your life, with your time, with the tape you have left. Something that actually means something to you, like in the long run, not just that good feeling in the moment. It doesn't have to have meaning to everyone or any other person, just to you. And that's what should really matter. Spending your time that has meaning to you and that you can look back and think, I spent that time well. And if other people look at you and think, oh, he didn't do as much as he could, didn't do, the brilliant things that I've done. Well, that doesn't matter. Different people are different and they have different lives and they live different ways. And everyone goes on a different journey and uses their tape on a different way of life. Every tape that has been recorded is different. Even if a person's gone to the same exact destination, say they've gone to like America or something, and they've recorded loads of videos, and they've gone to the same exact places and both gone with these videos, but they're all still different. They have their personalities, their ways of capturing different stuff. And that's what life is about. Capturing it all in a way that is unique to you and that means something to you in the long run and that you feel good about afterwards, not just in the moment. Look at that, since the beginning of this video, your tape has run out a little bit more and your timer has ticked down. But really, should you care too much? So many people spend a lot of their days now just scrolling Instagram, so many different stuff like Reels, TikTok, all this stuff, just watching sludge, just sludge. Do you know what I mean? That's what I call it, because it's a nothingness. Gives you a little dopamine, a little laugh in the moment, but then you forget about it later because you've watched a million other videos afterwards. So then it's not meaningful in the way. You're not going to look back in 10 years and be like, oh yeah, I watched all those TikTok videos, woo! I mean, yes, you may watch this video. It may not help your life at all, you know? It may have been a waste of your time. But for some people, I hope it's not. And I guess in a way that's for you to decide how you take this and how you take in this information and listen to it and use it in different ways, I guess. Or you can maybe just think about it on the side like, yeah, I am still doing this stuff, but I'm still self-aware thinking, oh, I want to do this other stuff. And it can be a build up to get to that point, but that's fine. I mean, you're not going to just instantly flick a switch, boom. Sometimes you may be, sometimes that may just happen. Sometimes it doesn't last either when that switch just flicks and it's just for a little bit. It's rather a better build up to keep ticking it down, that time that you're wasting. Say you start thinking about the time you've spent watching this video and then you think, ah, damn it, I could have spent this time doing something else productive or doing some work. Well, yeah, true, but maybe this video in this moment of your life is more important to you because you've not just come here for no reason. You've clicked on it because you're interested in what it's about, you know, what I'm talking about. And if you're still here at this point, then obviously you do want to change and you do want to listen to this advice and make it help you and see if it can help you the more you watch. And, you know, see if I talk about something that actually relates to you and that can help you more in a way. But at the same time, maybe not. Maybe it is just a video you click on, you watch and you forget about, and you watch another video afterwards, and that one, it helps you more. But that's fine. This isn't for everyone. It's just for people who have this same feeling, this thought that I'm trying to portray in this video. But whatever you're doing, don't you have that gravitating thought, that feeling that you should be doing something else that means something to you, doing something more productive. Like I have that all the time whenever I'm watching a YouTube video or whatever, or like watching Supernatural, amazing TV show. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I could be doing something else, or like, oh, I really want to watch this, but I also want to do something else. And then you start watching more and you're like, oh, I just wasted all that time. But having that feeling, it's a lot of that time you shouldn't like really lean into it because it will just constantly make you feel bad. And then whenever you get stuff done, you feel like you can't go and take a break or do whatever you want that isn't the productive work. And you shouldn't be feeling that way. Get a bit of work, and if you feel like that's enough, go do something else. Don't beat yourself up because you've not got enough work done or whatever. Like you haven't really missed out on doing something else with your time because it's already happened. And if you did do the other thing, you may have thought, oh, I missed out on watching this, I missed out on doing that. You know, you'll always think the opposite of doubting if you spent your time properly. Even if you did, because a lot of time you don't even know if you have done. There is no exact way to spend your time properly. It's just what you think, what you feel, you know, and no one can tell you how to do it. Everyone's different. Everyone's way of spending their time properly and spending their time productively is different to how you think it and different to how everyone else does, because everyone has their own ways of doing stuff. We all just make it up as we go, and we have our own ways of making it up. I guess, you know, it's the classic FOMO, the fear of missing out, when at the end of the day, you didn't miss out. Think a week later, you won't care about that. So why have that FOMO? What you do in the moment, if that's what you want to do, then it shouldn't matter the other things that you could have done because they're gone now. They're in the past. You should live in that present moment and not care about the past too much because it'll make you feel down for no reason. But whatever we do in life, whatever we choose to do with our time, it never once stops. That time that's ticking, that tape that's rolling, it never stops. It's always going. There may be moments where it feels like time is clocked off and gone for a smoke break, but it's not. It only just feels that way. Time is always going to be there and it's always going to be ticking down. So why care about it ticking down? Because you can't change it. It's never going to stop. So thinking about the time that's already gone, it doesn't matter. You got to think about the time that's happening right now in this moment, this present moment. That's what you should spend most, of your thought process on, of your thinking. Not thinking, that minute ago, I care so much about it. You shouldn't. Whatever happens, if you got embarrassed in a moment or if something really bad happened in your life, you've got to pass on from it. You've got to move on, however bad or whatever it was. So why spend your time dwelling on how you're spending that time? Because then that's a waste of time in itself. Yeah, maybe that time wasn't spent in a way that helps you, but you still learn from that. You think, in that moment, I spent that time, I wasted it. Now, you know that you did, and then you can do better. You can spend it in a better way that feels better for you, whatever it may be. You move on and you try and spend your time better the next time. Or right now, try and spend your time better. If this video is not for you, click off. Go do something that you want to do. Go do something that has meaning to you. Or if this video is for you and it has meaning to you, keep watching it. I mean, I wouldn't mind if you kept watching. I mean, I need the views. You know, you shouldn't sit there in the dark listening to Sabrina Carpenter and regretting all of your life decisions. That right there, that is the worst use of time in the history of time. That is not because of my opinion or bias, I promise. Dwelling on that wasted time, it's just a nothingness. It becomes a nothingness. It's a loop of believing you're not spending your time right to then spending time thinking about how you didn't spend your time right. Bloody hell, green eggs and ham. I mean, it's even funny to say, but it's crazy. It's stupid, but it's true. It's what we do. It's humans, man. Humans. Just the way we are. I mean, even listening to that, it sounds confusing and stupid, right? But it's something we all still do. You've just got to learn to move on and stay in the present moment and don't get stuck in the past. You know, don't get lost in the past. Living in that present moment is the healthiest thing you could ever do for yourself. One of them, probably. Eat an apple, I don't know. So, be like a cassette tape. Treat your life like it's a cassette tape. God damn. And remember that you know that it has this certain amount of tape and it will run out and you've got to spend it right. Do that stuff which is important to you. Spend your time and don't waste your time looking back on how it was spent. Use it to continue to live your life in the way you want and spend that tape right. That limited amount of tape you have left. I mean, it may seem like a long time, but it's not in the whole scheme of things. You know, you'll get to the age of 50 and you'll be like, what the hell? That was like a click of my fingers. You know, you felt like you were in like primary school like last week. You know, you felt like you were just a little kid sat down playing on your Xbox 360 or Nintendo 64. It felt like that was just like last week, you know, playing those games, having an amazing time, and then click your fingers, you're 50 years old, sat drinking a beer, big beer belly, you know. Your tape, it's still rolling. So what are you going to record next? Live your life like there's only one shot at it. Because the truth is,